Gentlemen No Class is proud to be a part of the HC Universal Network. Gentlemen No Class is produced, mixed, and edited by M5 Studios.
This podcast contains explicit language and is intended for adult audiences. The views and opinions of Gentlemen No Class are strictly for comedic purposes and should not be taken literally. For instance, like this disclaimer. Now grab yourself a pint and enjoy.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of Gentlemen No Class, a podcast that when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. I'm Jake.
Paul. Yeah, I'm Rob.
And like it or not, gentle ladies and gentlemen, we are the hosts for tonight's episode. Hello.
How's it going?
It's going. It's going. Happy late Thanksgiving, everyone. I guess.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just all right?
I made my rounds to a couple of different houses, and I told them I cannot be coming in bearing gifts because I already had COVID.
Oh.
So I'm good.
So you pulled Brandon Tolberg. You just go to 5 Thanksgivings. He's notorious to do that.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you're married. You know,
You have to go to 5 Thanksgivings.
He's not.
Oh,
he
yeah,
just
he's not.
does it.
Good
That's
point,
my
good
point.
point, good point,
That's
yeah.
my point. He just fucking does it.
He just shows up to places.
Classic Tolberg.
Isn't it Tolbert?
Yeah,
Or-
but it's Tolberg to me.
Oh, you just say the G?
Yeah, he's a Jew to
Apparently,
me.
it's apparently, I
Wow.
don't know.
What? I'm just having fun.
It's all good. We love it.
just a word.
From Tolbert here. So what do you guys do? Anything spectacular?
We decided that we were going to quarantine. Just
Smart.
because we didn't want to risk it with Corey and stuff. So we stayed home and we just kind of hung out, and we made what did we do? We made a ham from HEB, and we did. My wife made green bean casserole, and so I started doing keto, so I can't eat anything like any of the good shit. So of course my daughter's like, I want to make yeast rolls and cookies from scratch,
Oh, shit.
and cornbread stuffing, and I'm like,
That's legit,
assholes.
You can enjoy the process at least.
No, I mean
The fact that
I
you're
mean,
giving pleasure, mouth pleasure later for your family,
Yeah, whatever.
you
I
selfish
mean,
prick.
So like on keto, I couldn't have any of that. I could have the ham and the green bean casserole. That's it.
Right.
And no beer.
And no beer.
And
I haven't
no
been
beer.
drinking during the week. So this is my first beer in
yeah,
5
baby.
days. So
Let's
Damn,
let's
number 2,
celebrate.
Yeah, celebrate, yeah.
Celebrate for 2 weeks. I did it. 5 days.
you know what I have found, and
I've done
I
those
think that
before.
like when I'm at home at night watching TV and stuff is when it really gets bad for me. Is when I really constantly want to be drinking, and it's not so much that I want to drink beer; it's that I want to be drinking something tasty, and beer is just tasty, so I want to have a beer.
We have a huge surplus of it.
And
it's convenient.
so what I did was I went and bought a bunch of LaCroix, the lime flavored stuff.
The shit that you bashed me for drinking.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you're like that's.
And I was going. That's why I brought it up. I was
Gator.
going to say sorry because I mean it is good, and it is a decent substitute for a beer. Like most of, I can tell
Because
that
of
it's-
carbonation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the subtle
Substituting.
taste. Yeah,
Yeah.
So it's a decent enough substitute where like I haven't really missed not having a beer at night and stuff. So
What
and
you do is this, man. You pour it in water. I mean, in a glass, and,
And
you
then
throw
put
some
vodka?
No. Then you throw some cornflakes in there, and then it's your true Miller
It's the
Lite.
same.
the same
That's good
taste.
substitution. Fucking yeast.
cornflakes.
That's he's talking about referencing me because every time I pass by the fucking Budweiser plant or whatever that brewery on I-10 and 610,
Oh, yeah,
when I was a kid, it would just smell like fucking cornflakes because of the yeast and I
it
just
smells
stuck
like Rice Krispies because they use rice to make the beer.
Yeah, but cornflakes
Yeah,
to me,
that's a good
it's
point.
cornflakes.
So you just had
Fuck
green
your
bean casserole,
Krispies.
And ham.
turkey, or ham.
Yeah, we didn't have any turkey,
turkey,
so
yeah.
my mom had bought like a turkey breast she was going to bring over for us that my brother-in-law smoked, but we had some family issues today and yesterday. So
Family issues.
Yeah,
It's very common in families.
Yeah, I mean, what's
it
families
happens.
for? You know.
Yeah, it's kind of sad too because a friend of mine was asking me the day before. He's like, "So, what are you gonna do for Thanksgiving? Hang with your family?" I was like, "No, unfortunately, not this year. The past." I don't know how many years, like, we would, like, my uncle or aunt, like, we'd all get together. They would come over to our house. We'd go over their house and whatnot, and it's fun catching up, seeing your family.
Right.
But because of certain issues that happened in the past couple of years, some friction with my grandfather, it just changed everybody. And I'm not mad at them or whatever. Things were, I could say certain things, but I'm not going to get into details. But I still... regardless, like, they're my family. I'm not gonna hold that against them. I'm not like that. And even if I don't agree, but it is what it is. I don't harbor fucking grudges, man. That shit's no good. That doesn't do any good for you.
I think every family has something similar, you know.
Yeah.
And,
That's normal. It is what it is. You can't choose your family.
That's why the expression "you cannot do business with family."
Yeah, this is
it's
why
true.
I don't do business with family. Fucking
Yeah, true story.
Gone in 60 seconds.
this is why I never do business with family.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
it gets bad.
So my family wasn't really going to do anything up until like a week ago. They decided, you know what? No, screw it. We're just going to do it. And
COVID be damned. We all already had it anyway. Fuck it.
and I guess I wasn't really worried about it.
rite of
I'm only really
passage,
worried about
it's
certain people in my family because they went through issues already.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm at work, Megan. You had the whole freaking week on because she's a teacher. Why don't you go, just for peace of mind, go take a test? You know what I mean? If you want, So she like, you know what? I can do that. So she went to go take a test just for peace of mind. Negative. Even we were still already had the virus. It's still new. I mean, they say you can get it within the 3-month period after you got it, but I don't know how true that is. I think they're finding new discoveries every so often. So yeah. She
I
went
think
for
that
another
John
thing.
Denver's full of shit.
Yeah,
Exactly.
a lot of things are, man. It's just
It's tough to figure. I mean, this is all new. And that's the thing with science. The reason that science is right most of the time, or most all of the time, is from proven data. Right. And you can't really have proven data
I'll say
when
all the time, but a good amount. But
that's why I said a good amount of the time.
At first, you said all the time, but you corrected yourself.
I
I'm sorry.
corrected myself.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
I mean, basically, like it's because it's data plotted out over time.
Yeah.
There hasn't really been a lot of time.
Exactly.
That we've been,
you learn
tracking and seeing how this virus spreads and things like that.
Yeah, it just one thing I realized, man, just in general about this situation particularly.
Yeah.
But I like, especially politics about all this stuff. Like, I don't care what side you're on.
Yeah.
But I can't I don't trust them.
You don't trust who?
I don't trust the politicians because they're. I don't know what this sounds
When
like.
have you ever should trust them?
Right, exactly. That being said, like, we shouldn't be so dependent on the government. Local is what really matters. Right. But it's just, I don't know. I just see a bunch of videos of, like, certain politicians that were not practicing what they preach, and then they go out doing...
You're talking about the Denver,
complete
the Colorado
opposite.
governor?
No, the California.
California, yeah,
but he recently apologized. At least I give him that. But it's like, the thing is, we're all fucking humans. We're flawed. You're gonna fuck up, and so to be that hard pressing on everybody else is like, I don't buy it. Like, you can't telling people to do so much and all this shit, and it just seems so hypocritical. It's like, it's just do as I say, not as I do kind of type shit. It's like, what the fuck is this? And so it's like, I just have a hard time. But it's like what I said earlier. I said this a couple of episodes ago too about my GCs. Take it on a smaller level, smaller scale. These guys are enforcing us to do all this shit, yet they don't do it themselves. Like, how the hell do you get a pass? Like, what is this? I thought you're enforcing it. You're not practicing what you preach, essentially. So it makes me, I have a hard time believing or what you're telling me to fucking do. Like you're full of shit already to me.
Like John Denver.
Like yeah, exactly.
Yeah, John Denver, man.
But yeah, I get
Full of
people can
shit.
change and improve, be better. I do believe that, but at the same time, they still time after time. I see them not doing what they're
Like
telling
Cyndi
us
Lauper?
to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah. Time after time.
You better hit that octave.
But
right there.
it just, I don't know, man. Like all this stuff
You're
is
gonna say time after time. Better
it's
get it right. goddamn.
getting really ridiculous and getting to the point like now you're like, okay, I like this idea like you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you attitude. It's bad enough the government already tells us a lot of things we shouldn't do, and I don't agree, but I get it to a certain point. But now it's just becoming like now you're overreaching. Now you're stepping over into my boundaries into my life and all this shit. Like I don't like it, and it just.
Yeah,
it's just too, I don't know, for the government to seem like all of a sudden to care about our well-being, like it just.
Can I
like, what the
interject?
fuck is
Can I
going
interject on that real quick?
please do.
Because I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, you have to understand that you're saying that the government is just now caring about our well-being. We have the Center for Disease Control. It's been around for 50, 60 years that they track pandemics and predict pandemics, and they track and give out advice for disease control. It's not an all of a sudden thing. This has been ongoing. It's just now we actually need them. So, I mean, that's what needs to happen. Did it turn off?
Well,
so, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're having to listen to the government. We're listening because there's a pandemic. Because the government control, like the CDC is a government controlled organization, but they're supposed to be nonpartisan, and that's the whole thing that like the whole thing that the Trump administration has brought up time and time again, that like most people and most government organizations lean one way or the other because they are funded by the government and they have political leanings. So those are the people that they're going to favor. And like, if there's a conflict, they're going to side with one side or the other. And I don't know if there's any real truth to that. I think that there probably is some truth to that because everybody has their opinions. But I mean, if you're going to leave it to somebody to be unbiased on something, you would think that a doctor, or a good journalist would be unbiased on things.
That's hard to
until they're bought out.
Exactly.
And that's where's the line at,
but how do you know?
Exactly.
I mean, that's the thing is like, how do you know who's been bought out and who hasn't been? You know what I mean?
Like
So-
I have. Oh
No, I'm just gonna say, like, to your argument, Paul, like saying that the government is like taking certain things, like, is it something like that small, or is your fear like it's going to be something else, and it's going to be something else? It's going to, pile on at the end of the day. It's going to be like
potentially from what I can see. I don't know. I'm just going by from what I've been hearing. Like I was going to bring up, like in California, I have plenty of family that live in California. There's a curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. now for a month.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And I've seen videos already, people like they're protesting against it. And this one guy, this cop was telling him, I was like, "Oh, you're breaking curfew. You need to go, blah, blah, blah." And then the guy's like, I'm not with him. I'm not doing it. And he immediately, the cops immediately go to him and just tackle him. He's just standing there. And they're like, "Stop resisting, blah, blah." It's like, he's not
Like
doing
a movie?
it.
Like the movie.
Stop
Yeah.
resisting. He's not doing anything. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
And
It's
this
like,
is going to be new opportunities.
and like, I don't,
For
and
shit
it's just,
like that to happen.
And so for that, and it's just, I'm looking at that and I fear for my family over there and friends too. And it's like,
Do they look as Hispanic as you do?
a lot of them are white, completely like my mom. Half
They're
of
fine.
them. No, well, this guy was white that was getting attacked. By the way, that matters.
yeah.
Well, that's why.
And it was white on white violence. But it's just, I don't know. Just seeing that, it's like I hope that doesn't happen here. It's like,
I don't
man,
think it'll happen here, but I'd like to squash this, but I wanted to show
Yeah,
you
I'm
a
sorry.
statistic real quick. I saw a thing that said that like there was a couple of key states that Texas being one of them that has seen like a huge surge in population growth since the pandemic started.
California.
Like California has a mass exodus, and Texas has gained
Yeah.
like 700,000 people in the last year just from the pandemic or something like that. Don't quote me on the numbers on
Yeah,
that, but it was some ridiculous amount. And I was like, Jesus. I was like, yeah, they're all coming. They're all from California.
Yeah, I see every day. I see California plates.
Yeah.
And it kind of worries me. Is like, like this one guy said it best. Like he has a brother who lives in Idaho, and a lot of people are just are moving to Idaho too from California, and they're saying like, don't California my Idaho, just like don't California my Texas. Like I like it here. I like the way things are. And
you're moving
Joe
here.
Rogan,
You don't move somewhere to change it.
Exactly.
You move somewhere because you like the way it is.
They're trying
already.
to do that already in Austin. It's
now Austin's been doing that to itself.
Yeah, I know,
forever.
but like they've been really pushing it even more now because of it. If you ask me, but yeah, my point is like come here. That's fine, but don't create the same mess for what you left and bring it here. Don't do that shit. Like you're just gonna piss everybody off, and then. Like I said, we have it good here. Like, I think there's a nice balance, even like when it comes to the pandemic. Like, there's still a lot of things I don't agree, but the balance, if you ask me, is particular about that. It's fine because I see people in California, seeing videos like people across the street and they're by themselves and they don't have their fucking mask. They're yelling, "Hey, you piece of shit, put your fucking mask on!" It's like. Nobody's around, dickhead, and we're outside. Fuck you. And like they're just like they're snitching on each other to getting incentives to tell if you rat on these people, we'll give you this money. It's like, what is this? Like, that's scaring me. I don't like that. I'm just saying it's glad.
I don't think that would ever happen in
That's
Texas.
not happening here because that
you
attitude,
get shot. If you snitched on somebody in Texas, you get shot.
That kind of attitude is like, that's ridiculous. That's like if I knew somebody was illegal and the guy's working his ass, I was trying to earn a living, I'm not going to report his ass.
If I want his job, I will.
That's
I'm just kidding.
Up.
I'm just kidding.
No, but it's the same.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
It's the same equivalence, though. But like, I'm not. It's none of my business or best interest to get involved with somebody like that. Like, no, like that's just none of my fucking business, man. Like, it's just leave him fucking be. Right. I don't know. Like I said, I like the attitude of just, you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you. It's just that simple.
Okay.
All right. Let's just leave it at that. Yeah. That's a good stopping point.
That's it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go this route.
You're good.
Something on my mind.
It's very interesting.
Chris is on the live feed going, what is this, the Michael Berry show now?
No shit. His next
Michael
guest,
Berry.
Alex Jones. Yeah, a little bit more conservative. Michael Berry,
Hey, people are allowed to have a fucking opinion and independent thoughts.
But keep it just like your asshole. Keep it to yourself.
It's like the
well,
Blaze.
What's the point of fucking me being
Joe
here
Pags.
then? Asshole, that defeats the purpose.
I'm just fucking.
And the only
Okay,
reason I
all
know
right.
about these hosts like Joe Pags and Michael Berry because I try to keep it like in the middle. And I'm like, I want to hear your argument. I want to hear your argument.
Yeah.
And get the best.
So I like to see the same thing. Like the whole, I want to know what you know and where you're coming from. And this guy and this guy, like, even if I don't agree, I just want to hear it all as much as I can.
But my conclusion is Joe Pags and Michael Berry are full of shit. So whatever.
There's a good podcast. I'd like to.
And there's a reason why you got.
I want
to
get into talking about the boys.
Fine.
I want to get into talking about the boys.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I'll end this political little diatribe because we want to revisit this at some point. But there's a really good podcast that I listen to occasionally. My mom turned me on to called Left, Right, and Center. And it's a center, like a moderate moderator, obviously, and then like it has usually their guests is they have one liberal and one conservative, and they talk about issues and like the conservatives, like, hey, this is what blah 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 blah, and then and then the moderate's like, well, I believe a little bit of this, and I think a little bit of this, and it's a very civil discussion back and forth, and it's really interesting to hear like where their views are coming from, and it's actually listening to it. You can be like, I kind of believe that a little bit, but yeah, I think you're full of shit. Like that's, anyway. So if you like that may be something you would enjoy listening to.
When it comes to that, there's something that Neil deGrasse Tyson mentioned about it's about the knowledge, like it's what you know and admitting that when you're wrong, and what you know. And not knowing when you're wrong, you know what I mean, and that's where it escalates between people in arguments. It's like
friction.
Some people don't want to admit that they're wrong, or don't want to even look at the other one's opinion.
And that's called cognitive dissonance as well. Ignorance as well.
And I mean, a lot of it is pure ignorance, and that's what we talked about last time. It's like, hey, like if you ask somebody a straight up question about something and somebody's like, hey man, that's ignorant. It's like, well, yeah, like that's why I asked him the question so I wouldn't be ignorant anymore.
There's
you
some-
know
yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
Like,
Well-
like you're not every you don't come out. I don't want to get into this anymore, Paul.
Yeah.
Like, really, Jesus.
No, well, go on.
I'm done. Let's just squash
Okay,
it. At
no,
that.
the only thing I was going to say, I thought you were going to say, because when people say that, it's like, look, not everybody fucking knows everything. If somebody wants to question something, even if you think, why the fuck would you say that? It's like, hey, why are you shaming and ridiculing this person because they genuinely want to know? They don't know. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody should be shamed for wanting to know, even if you think they should know it. You know, people have different perspectives. And like I said, you said earlier about what those guys, like, well, there's a reason why you came to that conclusion. And I respect that. Like, I might not agree or whatever. That goes for anything. But at the same time, I don't give people shit, even even like I said, if it's something that seems so obvious and you think you would know, if they don't know, I'm not gonna, like I said, ridicule them. I'll let them know. I was like, well, this is what this is about, and so on and so on. So now you're informed, or at least know where I'm coming from about it. It kills me when I see people talk to people like, hey man, not fucking everybody knows everything. What the fuck is wrong with you?
That's true.
And but people love to give people shit about it, and it's just like they did get off on it maybe,
and that's what it is. Yeah,
probably that could be one reason. But
you ever seen Dumb and Dumber when they kill those fucking owls?
No, but I've seen The Boys.
Okay, no, and I was like, I was trying to get at like, well, that party really died.
Okay.
Like, we just had a whole segment, a political segment.
Back to The Boys.
But no, go into what we're originally going to be talking about in this episode.
The Boys.
The Boys. Now we're going to be doing season 1, 2, or just a group?
I think we should do the group because you
I agree.
hadn't seen all of it at all. We haven't talked about season 1 at all because you didn't
wait a
never
minute.
finish it.
I thought we had. Oh, okay, never mind.
No, he
You're
never
right.
finished season 1, so we never
I
talked
know in the
about
past we briefly talked about it, but
it. You just spent hours this week poring over every episode and content, and you shouldn't. You're the one who should be able to
I know,
this.
but I
don't
see
mind.
that's the thing when I there was so many multiple topics in one episode, so it's
got
hard.
you.
Like
I got
there's
you.
only so much time dedicated.
It's cool,
to,
baby. It's
so
cool.
Good point. Good
I'm
point.
just saying. So fuck you.
Anyway, so so I just finished season 2 tonight. Like
Nice.
like
Well, you're fresh.
about 2 hours ago.
You're fresh, man.
So yeah, and like I said, it didn't go the place that I thought it was going to go to. So like what is your take on like let's start with season 1.
Okay.
So what did you think about season, like the whole buildup of like what the 7 was and kind of like the shit that Homelander was getting into and like the type of person that he is and like the mother relationship that he had with Elizabeth Shue's character and like all that kind of shit that was going on.
I mean, everything was freaking great. I mean, the direction that they went, it doesn't follow too much of this. I mean, it does follow the book, and I haven't really read throughout the whole book. I kind of stopped right before they introduced, I think, what's her name? Kamiko? Is that her name?
Yeah, Kamiko.
But the way they portray Homelander in the TV series is like you love him because he's a badass villain, but you fear him
because there's nobody that can stop him. And in the book, they had Black Noir that could stop him. Black Noir, that was the antagonist. And I liked what they did in the TV show where they were just like, no, fuck that. Let's just make Homelander the bad guy. Straight up. Let's just make him the bad guy. And like nobody can stop him. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? And I mean, the only person that could even rein him in a little bit was Elizabeth Shue's character. And then at the end, like he fucking
spoilers! We're gonna be doing spoilers.
It's been a year. And
hey man, you fairly finished this?
Yeah, but whatever, dude. Like
I'm just
that's
saying,
fine.
anybody listening, there's gonna be spoilers. That's just throw that little
total spoilers.
Yeah.
If you're listening, if you haven't seen season 1, like this is where you should sign off and then come back. If you've already
don't sign off.
Yeah, don't sign off.
You may not even care about it. It'll just sign off anyway.
Yeah.
That's like the end of the last episode. You went home and you watched.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude,
Yeah.
I can't believe you hadn't seen when he fucking laser beams her fucking face off and then blows the house and then Butcher blows the house up.
Man, this type of series, I haven't felt so good about watching something like this outside of like Game of Thrones. I think Game of Thrones was the most recent one, but when I started watching I was plugged in watching The Boys. before we get into that, did Amazon drop the whole season like right when it launches, or did they do
No,
like so
episode
many
by episode.
episode?
No, they dropped the whole season, didn't they?
Well, no, season 2 wasn't like that.
Was it?
It was. I was watching.
I don't know.
It
I just
weekly.
started watching it, so I don't know.
No,
Okay,
it-
okay.
I don't. I think they did that for season 1. I believe season 2 they did a different approach. They went episode.
Do you
a
guys
week.
prefer the whole season being dropped out?
Yeah. Well, no. Well,
I don't know. I'm jury's still out. Like, I like The Mandalorian. It gives me something to look forward to every week, and I've really liked like the build up to every week on it.
Yeah.
But I do like when something drops to be able to like binge it instantly. But no, season 1 of The Boys, they dropped it now because me and Melissa watched the whole
that's what I
thing
was
in like a
saying.
week or two.
Season 1 they did that. Season
Yeah.
2 they didn't.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I was doing it weekly. But no,
Maybe
like,
your Prime's just fucked up and you weren't getting them.
no, that's not true.
I wonder.
I
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, comment back to that though, because you said about take on all at once or just little by little. I'm starting to appreciate the one episode at a time because, like Rob said, the build up, and plus you can retain and just absorb, all of it. Just what's in week by week basis, like how shows used to be. So I mean, that's how we're used to.
Yeah, for sure.
At one point, and I'm sure all of us are not because we're spoiled because everything's just thrown at once. But because of that, when you do that, the value and the impact is just gone.
We know they're kind of
Like-
just shafting us by doing that, anyways, right?
Right,
Because they
yeah.
could just throw it on HBO, and we're already used to that. But no, they put us in a subscription basis, and we're getting that same treatment.
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
Netflix kind of spoils us, but it's a
Yeah.
good marketing technique because it keeps them talking. Like right now, we're still talking about the
Well,
boys.
Yeah,
exactly.
and so
That's
the
whole
thing is
point.
like,
you
it-
retain it more and just sorry to interrupt, but
No, and that's the thing is like with and going back to that point, when you get done with an episode, if you want more, like if you're binging it, you just go on to the next episode.
Right.
But like today, like this morning, we got up and we were like fucking Mandalorian, and so like we watched the episode, and I was like, oh man, I want another episode. So we just rewatched the episode again. So you retain more of the episode and what happens in it, and it kind of builds your hype a little bit more for the
Yeah.
next
That's
true.
episode.
yeah, it keeps you wanting more because you have to
keeps
wait.
it, and it keeps like you were saying, it keeps like we're talking about the boys still. You know what I mean? And like it's still in the public thought because they released them week by week, and that's kind of like the Mandalorian. If like you would have dropped all that shit at once, Star Wars fanboys would have had that shit watched within the first 8 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It'll be forgotten very
and,
quickly.
and then you pace
On
it
to
out
the
so you
next
keep
show.
it on people's minds. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
More
that's
money.
a good.
Yeah, more money.
That's the old school original way. Like
Yeah.
that's how people got, keep it fresh that way. Keep it talking. Keep it going.
Yeah. And so like one of the things like about the boys especially is as far as like comic book adaptations, it's really fucking gory and graphic. Like I was really surprised like watching the first episode when A-Train runs through Huey's girlfriend. I was like,
First
what
five-
in the
first 5 minutes
fuck
of the
just
show.
happened? I couldn't even comprehend
But see,
that had just happened.
What's great about that, they've already within those 5 minutes they already established the tone of the show. That's
Yeah.
amazing introduction.
Good point.
Because like this is what you're about to get into. Then like
Turn it off. Turn it off if you don't wanna
Yeah,
watch it.
exactly. If you don't like it, turn. If you do, fuck it. Let's
Yeah.
keep going.
And season 2 brought it even harder. That scene where Kamiko rips that guy's fucking face off.
Yes, yes,
Oh
yes.
my god! I was like, oh my god! I
Yeah.
had to stop. I was like, did she really just rip that guy's face off?
Was your hand on your chest
Yeah,
like that?
for
My
real.
God.
I asked my wife, handed down, I was like, did she just rip his face off?
My God! Ooh, fucking fingers, fucking Southern over here or something.
Southern, yeah.
Oh my God! Oh my!
Anyway, I mean that was pretty intense.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
for
And
sure,
like
for
there were
sure.
some pretty intense scenes. Like when Homelander fucking like blasts all those Vought guards in the last episode, and he's just covered in blood and shit. And like when the kid like blasts the Nazi fucking girl, and she's got like no arms and legs, and Homelander walks up to her and he's like, "Ah, fuck."
Yeah.
And
There goes
I don't
your
know that I
fuck
don't
doll.
even.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
even really know that he cared that she was like hurt, but he was just I think that he was just like, well, there goes that good thing that I
Yeah,
had.
I could see
Yeah.
You know
that.
what I mean? Like he really didn't give a shit about her like on a
Either
personal
that,
level.
or he just got over it very quickly.
to go into
true story
this, to
to
go
that.
into that is there a love-hate relationship between Billy Butcher and Homelander?
I
Like,
think
is there a
it's-
thrill? Because at the
Possibly
end of
they
season 1,
need
he
each
didn't have to
other.
take Billy to Becca's house. He could have just blasted him right there and
Yeah.
then killed him.
No, Homelander gets off on torturing people. And that's the ongoing theme of the show. Like, he's torturing Maeve with, like, oh, you want to be gay, huh? Well, now everybody's gonna know
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And you know what I mean? And so,
Fucking
like, he
sociopath
finds
is
out
what
he is,
he
yeah.
finds out that Becca's alive. Once Homelander finds out that Becca's alive and that Billy's been hunting him, he's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, come here. You know what I mean? He just
Yeah.
and then he just drops him off in the middle of fucking nowhere.
so you think
so
he-
he has to live with that, knowing that Becca's alive, but he can't do anything about
Right.
it. And Homelander gets off on that. I can do whatever I want while he's jerking off on top of the building at the end of the season.
Oh, I love that.
That was
that
amazing.
That
homage
Batman,
to
right?
Batman, yeah.
Yeah.
I told Paul was over here while we were watching it earlier, and I was like, Paul, if you were a superhero, that's what you'd be doing.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, exactly.
City needs me.
But I mean, do you think
after this though,
after this, though, yeah. Do you think he wanted Elizabeth Shue's character? What's her name again?
I forgot.
Whatever her name
I
was.
forgot.
Do you
Elizabeth
think he
Shue.
wanted her to die? Like be done with? I mean, he's the one that
But
killed
he
her.
doesn't-
He's in love with her, but he does. But
He
could-
doesn't like being lied to. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
That's really the reason why.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm
but
done with you.
what is
That's right.
hilarious how he killed her is like. Fucking little lady, like, ah!
Well, what tripped me out, like,
Dun-dun-dun.
and that just goes to show, like, his like part of his sociology,
You got
his
a man down here. Man
sociopathology.
down.
You know what I mean? He was making that fucking shapeshifter guy turn into her.
Yes.
and he was banging him, her, whatever.
Go back now. Go back.
I'm sorry, Billy. It's really, or Homelander. It's really hard to hold after a couple hours. Go back now.
One of my favorite
What a
scenes
job
though,
that guy
in
has.
season 2 with Homelander when
Drinking
he
the
was
breast milk? Sorry.
when he was getting upset, and it's funny because it's kind of like a parallel in a sense where in the Tick.
Jesus.
There's their version of Homelander is called Superior, and they both have like a huge acceptance problem. Like he wants everybody to love him, blah blah blah, and not everybody's gonna fucking do that, buddy. But that scene, in season 2, when Homelander is like talking with what's her name, what's the chick's name? That's
Stargirl?
No,
Or
not
what is it?
Starlight.
The
Starlight.
Wonder Woman one?
Yes, that one.
Queen Maeve?
Queen
Yeah,
Maeve,
Queen
yeah,
Maeve.
yeah.
And you don't know it, but you realize it's in his head when he starts just fucking getting pissed. He just laser beams everybody.
Yeah, right, yes,
I was
yes.
like, man, that's just oh god, that was just badass. It's just seeing like how much the anger in him, like he just wants you. He's like, fucking love me.
Exactly.
What are you
didn't say
talking?
it, but
What are you talking about?
in season 2, when
when he
They're doing a
comes-
press conference or the
Yeah,
the,
like
the
it's
speech
outside.
Oh
to
yeah,
everybody.
Yeah,
Where
and
he's
he-
like, "Don't worry, blah blah
Yeah,
blah."
yeah.
And then I knew that was when the guy's like, "Well, fuck you."
Yeah.
And then he laser beams the whole crowd. I was like, "That's got to be a dream. That didn't really
yeah.
happen."
yeah, it just on
I was like,
his
"If
head,
it
like,
did," I was like, "That's it."
like
They
Dan
know-
was like, man, that just kind of goes to show like how much anger he fucking has, like, and he cares. I mean, like, it's weird. It's kind of complex or conflicting his character. Like he cares, but at the same time, like he doesn't give a shit. It's weird. Like he'll be willing to take you out, and especially in season 1 with that fucking plane, he didn't bother. He's like, fuck him, I'm out of here. There's nothing I can do. Or
You mean I got to
we're
fly
just-
up here 127 more? No, fuck that. I'm
Yeah.
out.
For
Yeah.
those that have not seen it, would you say the boys they're just really just trying to take down Vought, or are they trying to kill some superheroes? Or
I
some-
think
the
they're trying.
Supes
I think that Billy just has a problem
or
with
Homeland.
soups.
or Supes in general.
Soups
You're
in
right,
general.
you're right.
Yeah,
And-
well,
and-
based
and-
on what happened to him, his
Yeah, and
experience.
now that we know that, and now that they found out that like superheroes are made, that Vought made them. Now they're like, now we're gonna take down Vought. It started into taking down Homelander, but then it turned into something like it started with we're gonna take down Homelander, and then it turned into this is so much bigger than Homelander.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just him; it's the whole system that turned him into what he is.
Well, I think Billy's still only for Homelander. I don't
Well,
think he's a
yeah,
fuck
but
about-
I mean,
That's
not
the main
really,
objective.
because I mean, if you think about it, like he was, yeah, I mean, he's still only for Homelander, but Like, and that's the question, like, season 3, like, where do they go? Like, what's Billy's motivation to do anything past this? You know what I mean? Like, Becca's dead.
Yeah.
That was his main motivation. And, like, Homelander's basically, like, ruined. They're blackmailing him. And so, like, what's going to be Billy's motivation moving forward past that? I'm going to keep talking just so that Paul can't interject. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think, well, maybe he's got a son now.
what Paul
No.
thinks.
He gave him what he had to. No, I'm sorry. Well, his son is being taken care of by that. I forgot her name. The other
The
one.
colonel of the government.
Yeah,
lady.
she's taking. But I think that's still. I think because of the possible new villain that's set up at the end, that chick.
Oh, yeah.
I think Homelander might actually turn
to
and
be
maybe
good?
it's possible, man.
I mean, he
Anything
is technically, he's supposed to be a good guy, but he's
yeah,
a
but you never
sociopath.
know. Like, I mean, people can fucking change, and like he could change and just call to his aid, and they might actually team up.
Now, did they ever
It's
have?
unlikely, but it could happen.
Did they ever have season like 3 already lined up, or they were asked to have it renewed?
They renewed it as soon as season 2 dropped.
So,
within
I
a
actually
couple of
think I was
days.
even okay, before.
Within a couple of days.
if they weren't going to get a renewal, they had a kind of a good stopping point, because the story kind of concluded to a certain degree.
To a certain
You
degree.
can say that.
You know
Yeah.
what
I mean,
if they closed it,
There's a soup that's in the government. That's it.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, that tripped me out. We were watching it. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? My
Yeah.
wife was like, is she the same girl that got from the psych
see-
ward? And I was like, no, she's not.
But you know what's amazing though, like your reaction and like your surprise and whatnot, like pretty much like the same for me when I first watched it. That the setup, I forgot how many episodes it was before, but all those people's fucking heads popping off and like what the fuck happened? They didn't explain that.
Oh, right,
they
right.
planted that seed.
Yeah.
And let you wonder, like, even to the
Who-
very
who
end,
was
like,
doing
who the
it?
fuck
Who do you
did
think
it?
it was?
And they
But there
finally
was-
revealed it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, what? Like, I mean, I didn't see it fucking coming, but it was a nice build how they did that. Like, they distracted you for a while, trying to make you forget. But, if you're really paying attention, you're asking, like, what the fuck? What is up with that? Like,
But wasn't there another superhero that did that, or a villain that did that earlier in the show?
that
That
blew
was
up
like,
heads
yeah,
or
that was
very
like popping
similar?
people's heads.
I can't think
The
of
only thing
anything but that
it
shit.
It was only whenever they were doing the in court. They were doing the hearing.
No, there was another one, wasn't there?
No, there wasn't.
No, that's
was
only-
the head
yeah,
popping.
before
Oh, yeah,
that-
the head popped whenever they're doing the 16 pop claw. Sat on that guy's
Yeah.
head. That was some head popping.
And
right there.
Homelander smashed that guy's head right before he started fucking what's
There
her
you
name in
go.
the alley.
Yes.
When she forces him, like she's like, eat that pussy, bitch.
Oh, God. Fucking.
Oh.
I said, what is her tits? Is fucking great. Like, her-
okay, so
Did y'all see that meme that was posted?
yes,
With Mariah Carey and everyone.
yeah.
Oh, wait.
No, it's like everyone. It's
Explain it.
yeah. It's basically like forcing people to listen to Mariah Carey's.
Oh, going down.
And you have Homelander eating Snatch, and that's the Mariah Carey. The Snatch is Mariah
She
Carey.
needs to be
Yeah.
outlawed already.
Oh
Yeah,
my
whatever.
god,
Not just
That's for
that
another
song,
episode.
just
For
her.
another episode.
I hate that song. By the way,
Most
anyway,
people
so
do.
it's one of the things that like we were talking about earlier on there is she says, there's a line that she says, she's like, you just had to bring up the Nazi shit. Everybody was liking everything that I said, but they don't like the word Nazi.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like, and you know what? It takes you back a little bit, and you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's
Put that
looking at the
into your
political climate
attention.
and things that are like when you put that in context, it's like you as soon as you throw the word Nazi in there, everybody's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But until you contextualize
It's
it like
completely
that, like
dismissed.
it's
fucked up.
it's looked at as nationalism, which is what the Nationalist Socialist Party was, and that's but and I think that it's good that we have
snitching
a
going
a term, or
what they did.
I think that it's good that we have what's the word I'm looking
Trying to
for?
say it's good to have the term Nazi out there.
Yeah, because that instantly, like, if you can connect it to that, it's instantly like, you know, that it's like a moral hip check. You're just like, oh, okay, that's Nazism. Let's back off a little bit. Hopefully,
Yeah, but
I mean, for a lot of people, they know what it is. But
Yeah,
I mean, some people that are ignorant. I mean, let's just be honest. There's people that, you know, go their whole lives that, you know, that's not the kind of shit that they think about or talk about or research or watch on TV or anything,
it's not
and
their
just
concern.
call it plead ignorance. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, they start hearing stuff like that, and they're like the kid that shot the guy in the clerk in the store. You know what I mean? It goes back to, so they did a scene in The Boys that's just like that scene from The Social Dilemma,
right. Yes.
where he gets wrapped up in this YouTube wormhole.
Yes,
and
that was a good scene actually.
And he ends up shooting the clerk, you know, and he's like, "You're one of them. I saw the light in your eye," just because that car had driven by. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing. Like, those are the type of people that don't know, that are ignorant to the fact. But if you, like, having a term like Nazism, as long as you apply it appropriately,
Which is
like,
not been used appropriately.
No, I'm not
But yeah,
getting into that.
I know.
What I'm saying is that it is there to contextualize things like that.
Right.
I mean,
To put it on scale.
It's good that
it's a gauge.
exists.
It's a gauge.
Because like what she was saying is like, everybody liked what I was saying until you said I was a Nazi. And it's like, oh, you make a fair point. As soon as you throw that word Nazi out there, people are like, oh, well, maybe this isn't so good. Well, it shouldn't. You should be able to recognize that up front. But I mean, let's be honest. Like I was saying, a lot of people are ignorant. And they don't know.
Yeah, so it comes down to the individual to decide on that kind of shit.
So, back off of that political understatement.
Thank you, Rob.
I didn't mean to. Like,
Nah, you're good.
but I mean, they made it a little bit political by
no.
making her a Nazi. But
Yeah.
so I mean, what did you think about them having the fucking L. Ron Hubbard guy in there? Or what's the new leader of Scientology's
I
name?
forgot, David Miscavige. Is
Yeah,
the new
David
one.
Miscavige.
Yeah.
The David
My
Miscavige
man.
character.
Oh, you're talking about
the Church of
the guy from
whatever.
ER, the
Is that it?
Czechoslovakian
I don't
guy or
know,
whatever.
some
it
shit.
was.
ER.
Yeah.
Who watches fucking ER?
Yeah, back in the day, that's where I recognized him on ER.
Fucking
Okay.
goddamn, what's his name? Goddamn fish fucker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Deep.
The Deep.
I used to like that
Fuck
Further Seems
this.
Forever song.
It's a good song. Yeah.
Whatever.
Did you say Further Seems Forever?
Yeah, there's a song called The Deep.
Fucking
Don't fuck my gills. Don't touch my gills.
yeah. But the
With
scene
Patton
where
Oswalt as his fucking talking as his
yeah,
gills.
on
Holy
shrooms,
shit.
that was great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh yeah, Ultra Paul.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say Ultra Paul.
That's a decent depiction of like what it's like to be on shrooms.
That
But
makes me never want to do
yeah,
shrooms
exactly.
their
again.
conversation, like, it's not necessarily like inanimate objects or shit like that talking to you. I mean, yeah, but listen to the actual conversation and what he's doing. He's bringing self-awareness to him and what he's doing and like realizing, and that's what it does.
Yeah, I
It just
can do that.
it just tries to make you a better person. That's all it's doing.
Or it
question
makes you a
everything when you're
worse
on it?
person.
What's that?
Do you
There's two
question it?
questions in asked.
Sorry.
Go.
Do you question anything or everything when you're on them?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It makes you see
That's
things
the reason
for
why you
where
become
they
aware of
are.
things, then. I got you.
That yeah, like I was already aware. I had a lot of self awareness about myself, but it really strengthened it big time. But
right.
yeah. Anyway.
Interesting.
But yeah, like when he was when the Deep and what's his name? God damn it, I forgot these names, man.
Who? Which guy?
The black guy. What's his name?
A-Train.
A-Train. A-Train and Deep are talking to
There's a
David
reason she
Miscavige.
doesn't like you.
and fucking and he was confronting them like, one of you did this, blah blah blah, like escape with some data. And Deep's like, oh fuck that, I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah,
and Deep was or not, and what's his name, A-Train pretty much was saying it was him. And then and the guy's like, well, which brings me to a point that A-Train, you're back. And then you see Deep like, oh yeah, man. Like at first he wasn't
We're back. Yeah, we're back.
we're back.
He's
Like he wasn't a second ago. He was just telling fuck you or fuck off. I was
exactly.
like, but it
Yeah.
just seemed how
You're a
weasel
toxic
like.
person.
And that's
Yeah,
where
you
they
need
dropped
to leave,
That's where they dropped the Willy Wonka. You lose.
Yeah, you lose. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know
we
my
gotta put
favorite
that-
scene of the boys is whenever the Deep is driving that dolphin, I think, and he's like, all right, man, I'll just touch it. I'll touch it for a second. You remember that?
Wait, this
Like,
is
he's
season
speaking-
2, right?
Season 1 or 2, I forget. I don't know. think it's one, and then he slams, like he gets in a wreck, or he pumps the brakes on the truck, and the dolphin flies into the windshield.
Oh yeah, I think that's season 1.
It probably is.
Yeah, because he was trying to.
Dude,
he was trying to do his best to get back into the 7 or 5, whatever.
When
the
they
flag
drive
5.
that
I'm sorry,
fucking
that's the tick.
boat through that fucking whale.
Oh, that was awesome. And then
yeah.
Huey's like, I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah, what mother? And then MM's like, just leave him be, man. Just there's some shit like that. And like, hey, but that's true. Just let him. He'll be all right. He'll come out.
I need to get a Billy Butcher sound drop on here. Like, you fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Fucking cunt.
Yeah,
you know, it was great too.
That's a term of endearment where I come from, love.
I love the a lot of the times, like how they set up the intros. A lot of these episodes, especially in season 2, when he goes when you know Billy, he goes to a show, he fucking takes a drink. He goes to the mosh pit and just starts fucking somebody up. And then he starts taking a beating, and it goes down. The camera pans down his face. You see it. He's like, he's just enjoying it. Like he wants it.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
He's just looking, man. That's fucking great writing and just good character. Like it just shows you who he is as a character, as a person. It's amazing. Like just he wants
he's a madman.
Literally, yeah. He's so filled with fucking rage. He's just. That's him essentially processing out some of that, like just fucking letting people just go to town on him.
He likes the pain.
Yeah, it's just amazing to see, because to the average person that's foolish, but to him it's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay. He doesn't have a problem with it.
So, just where, like, what are your thoughts on like where this is going as far as like for as far as like season 3 goes? Because the season 3 teaser trailer already dropped.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah. What? Damn.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so the season 3 teaser trailer dropped, and you can watch it later.
I'm not doing that.
So it has Jensen Ackles from Supernatural is going to be in this season.
Okay,
playing the original superhero, like mainstream superhero, whatever, named Soldier Boy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Soldier Boy. Crack that.
That's like a Captain America, obviously, ripoff, you know. And it's funny, you can go through like every single character, and you're like, you get where they're going with
Flash,
this is good. Yeah, Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman.
Who's gonna be the Batman?
Black Noir.
I guess you're right. Yeah,
but
I like that scene with Black Noir. She's like, "Is that an almond joy?" And she's like, "He's got a tree nut allergy."
That was such a weak way to take him
No,
out.
that was great.
That was weak.
Because how the hell else are they going to take him down?
Nah, good point.
Who's this again? They took out
Black Noir.
Oh,
with the candy bar.
That's true. It's like I see your point, but I kind of do see where you're coming from. But I might have to side a little bit on him because I was kind of. I liked how they did that. The point is, they found a weakness, and I know it seems stupid, but it's like you got to do what this guy is like. To me, I'm wondering almost. Exactly. He's unstoppable. It's like, how the fuck are we gonna get him? This son of a bitch is allergic. Oh, it's on, baby. That's it. You're done. He's fucking. They found a weakness and they use it against.
It's like how they got translucent up the ass.
Yeah, exactly.
That was so good.
No, see, there you go. I didn't think about that. That's the whole point. Is like, you're superheroes. But there's a weakness, and they will find it, and they will use it against you. I think, maybe going back to what you're saying about like, where do you think it leaves off to season 3? What could happen? I kind of did, like I said earlier about Billy and possibly, Homelander actually teaming up and maybe playing good. But it could be also a possibility to where they can really find I don't know, maybe they have a weakness for Homelander.
I don't know that he has a weakness. I think that's the whole point.
I think it's possible, though.
Maybe they use his boy as a weakness.
I mean, there's
something that
he doesn't
that
have
can
a physical. I don't think he has a physical weakness.
Yeah,
either way, I mean, like he's still a human being. So I think he's.
So there's no kryptonite.
Right.
Yeah, well, exactly. There's got to be some kind of vulnerability.
Well, it has to be an emotional weakness.
Something. There is a weakness.
His emotional
to him.
weakness was exploited to a certain degree with Elizabeth Shue's character, or with that milk.
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly.
So gross.
Yeah. No. But that goes. It shows that the motherfucker's vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Yeah.
He is. He's a fuck. He's still a human being underneath the fucking superhero bullshit.
Now, do you think 8 episodes is just enough, or you think this you can go to 10?
I think it's just enough. Honestly, like they're doing so much in each episode.
They really are.
Like I like where it's nonstop the whole time, and they're not doing like these little like wishy-washy scenes and shit like that.
That's
where
true. I mean,
you know what I mean? Like where it's just what it should be.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And 8 episodes is perfect.
Yeah, and that depends on what you're going for, because David Lynch would just stress the shit out of that.
Oh yeah.
But there's a reason.
Well, that's because he can't.
Yeah.
When you're
Well, there's
working with
there's
this much material, and you're like, oh, you're gonna be a weirdo and be like, you know, Twin Peaks should have been like a 5-part miniseries.
Yeah.
And
No.
they turned it into
been
like
like,
2
no,
seasons.
no, but see,
Hatfield
no,
and
no, no,
McCoy
you're
is
missing
only
the
three
point though. Like,
episodes.
I mean, he does that because it's part of the buildup. It's part of the process when you watch it.
Yeah.
Because when things finally start to unfold and then just
No.
become,
We're not
become
talking
the
about
light.
Twin Peaks.
I'm not getting. I'm just. I'll end my point. I just want to defend what you just said. Like, you know, just minimal. Like, no, he has a lot to say. He has that. His pace is slow and often, but it pays off. It's when I watched those 16 episodes of Return came out 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It was amazing. That whole experience of like, I'll never get that again. Like, cause I waited 16, 17 weeks to watch these episodes. And just like I was saying earlier about when it comes to the boys and then all these other shows, when they do that, I like that. Twin Peaks, at that time, it really made me appreciate that again when it comes to releasing an episode at a time. So that way you can absorb and just savor it that much more. And so you can it just seems like it's part of the you can just enjoy it more.
Yeah,
That's
for
just
sure.
me, you know. I know not everybody's going to agree. I understand that, but I see the reason behind it is all.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're a David Lynch fan?
No, not at all.
No.
In case you hadn't
I
figured
mean,
that out.
I was trying to.
I mean, we're only 76 episodes into this, and he fucking sucks David Lynch's cock probably about
Every time.
80% of the
think-
time.
yeah.
80, 90.
Yeah, I think
I always try to do a middle note, like I just drop one reference to every
Jesus
episode.
Christ, I know you do that. Yeah. He sucks his dick every
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Well, what's that? Anchorman works
70%
all the
of the
time.
time it
today.
works every time.
I gotta tell you, that smells like pure gasoline.
So, what are your thoughts? Like,
Yeah. Oh, where's it going?
No. I just want to know, like, overall, like, obviously, we all really are enjoying this show. Like, overall, as far as like where you think this show's gonna sit when the run of the show is over, like, how far do you think they can take this story? Like, how many seasons do you think they can do?
Now they have a new villain, and it's in the government. You know.
But is she a villain?
Well, I mean, in Billy's eyes, she is. She has to
because
be.
she's a soup. But what about the girl that escaped from the girl that escaped from the psychiatric hospital that was just like bloop and like fucking blowing people up? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's gonna be the new villain of the new season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
could be dual
Now we have
villains.
a soup going into like being elected into Congress and stuff.
Yeah.
But is she against Vought, or is she just for herself? Like, she doesn't want Homelander exposed. She doesn't want Vought exposed. But what her plan worked.
Maybe she wants everybody to turn against Homelander because obviously she has crazy superpowers.
Yeah.
She's able to kill off all these people just like that.
Yeah.
Like with her mind, I guess that's what she did. Or
Yeah, just like a
telekinesis?
decapitation.
Yeah, decapitation. Yeah. I don't know. Well, Huey's in it. You know, he got a job with her.
Yeah,
So maybe that's
now,
gonna
do you
float.
think that he got the job with her because they think something's up, or just coincidentally?
point.
I think it's
We don't
coincidentally.
know that yet.
We don't know. Yeah.
It's not enough info. Like,
Yeah.
it could be presented as to where we don't know that yet, but maybe we'll
What
find
was
out
the
more.
deal?
of course,
What was
later.
the deal that Billy made with who's the head of?
that blonde
Victor?
chick?
No, the head of Vought.
Gus Fring.
Gus
Gus
Fring.
Fring, yeah.
What was the deal that he made with him?
So
Sopranos.
the deal that he made was oh shit, we just watched this.
Yeah, mainly you though. But yeah.
Yeah, Paul was working.
That's awesome.
So I'm trying to remember. The deal that Billy's deal was that he was supposed to deliver the kid to Vought, and then return. Vought was supposed to make him disappear so that he could disappear with Becca.
Yeah,
and Homelander would have nothing to do with either one of them. I think that was the deal that he made.
Okay. Well, if they know anything, it's going to probably come from
Who is they? Who?
like
what are
the boys. If Huey's in there for an inside job, the only way that they got that information was from Gus, or I think his real fucking name, whatever.
I don't know. I mean, his real name is Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah, well, yeah,
but I
his
mean,
character name.
He's Gus Fring. I mean, like Breaking Bad. Like, I mean, he's in everything, man. He's in fucking The
great.
Mandalorian.
Mando, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, anyways, I don't know.
yeah, I mean, season 3 is going to be. I'm curious of where they're going with the whole Soldier Boy thing, like bringing back the original superhero. That's going to be interesting. So that's we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I really enjoy it. I think they can take it as far as they want. Because I mean, the soups aren't going anywhere. Compound V is public knowledge now, so I mean, it's one of those things. Like, even though, like he was saying in the show, Gus Fring was saying in the show, he was like, Compound V is going to be on the market and it's going to make our stock go up. I prefer it to be in private, but you play the hand that you're dealt.
Yeah.
But now he's saying, okay, we're pulling it because of all these things. That's what he said. But, they could easily just release this into the public or sell it on the black market and
then
start getting fucking
and then
superheroes.
That's not gonna
create
stop
a
'em.
vaccine.
They want to make
Call
money.
it the
They're a
COVID
business.
killer. And then, hey, it's just what we're seeing right now. Hey,
If I took a vaccine that made me a superhero,
Yeah.
I better
Why
be the
stop
guy.
there?
I
We
better
should
be
do
the
every
guy
other
with the huge
disease.
dick that can choke people out.
that's
with
love
it.
sausage.
Oh God,
You ever
that was
seen?
a fucking weird fucking.
You ever
guy.
seen
It came through the window and I was like, "That's that guy's dick." And Melissa was like, "What?" And I was like, "The guy that they were showing with the big dick that looked like me. That was that
He
guy."
looked like me.
You ever seen? I think it's Mocked Up, where Jonah Hill's character says she like it with the dick taste.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
No.
Whenever Love Sausage had his dick wrapped around MM,
She liked the way
he like it with the dick taste.
Who is the mother's milk character?
That's I guess that's the black guy.
fucking face.
That's his. Oh, that's
Yeah,
right. Okay, I was like,
that's his nickname, of course. I
yeah,
forgot
yeah,
his
yeah,
real
yeah.
name.
Okay,
They
yeah.
say it.
I forgot what his name was.
Yeah, exactly.
I know Frenchie and Huey and Billy, but that's
Right.
it.
Mother's
We were
milk,
talking about
M&Ms,
earlier, like
M&Ms.
from the last episode, we were talking about Huey being, the offspring of Dennis Quaid and
Oh,
Meg
yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he's Dennis Quaid from the nose down and Meg Ryan from the nose,
nose up,
up.
yeah.
And he goes, sure wish he was Randy Quaid.
Freaking Randy Quaid. Yeah. Oh man.
Fucking
Don't
drunk.
cheap out on me.
Yeah, fucking drunk.
Anyway.
By the way, Clark, get something on that list for you. Get something really
Get something
nice.
Oh, man. Just put it on mashed potatoes, or hell, just eat it right out of the can for a quick pick me up. Fucking coffee can.
Yeah, I got money buried all around this yard.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So what my kidneys?
So, I mean, one of the things about the boys are like, because you took so long to get into it. Paul, can you grab a couple of Miller Lights out of the fridge?
Oh, yeah.
Be a doll.
Be a doll.
Yeah.
Be several dolls.
We got about 30 seconds of no pause. Let's make it work.
Okay, so anyway. I can't even think of something.
No room for
I'm dropping
hesitation,
it.
man. Come on,
I'm dropping
man.
it.
Come on. You're fucking
all right,
up.
so the part in the boys that like that really got me, like I was talking about earlier,
Thank you,
was
sir.
all of the super graphic, like just like Homelander like cuts people in half and shit, and like they're flying around the penthouse fucking, and
That's awesome. That was kind of very
That was-
original.
yeah, that
To
was-
see that. Comics would never write about that.
no, they would never, because of the comic book code.
Yeah.
Stan Lee talks about
Comic
the comic
book code.
Well, Stan Lee has talked about it in multiple interviews.
Can you explain that to me?
So in the comic book code, you never address the superhero's genitalia or sex.
Yeah.
You never address that directly. They dress very scantily. You know that there's males and females, but they have relationships and they can get married, but you never address anatomy, genitalia, or sex.
He made that up?
that was kind of his code he started, and
I
everybody's
think
kind
it
of
rolls with it. Yeah, still
Yeah.
to this day. I think.
I'm gonna do the opposite. Full male genitalia everywhere.
We're getting a screenshot of his hair right now.
Oh man, dang it!
It just wants attention is all. Just don't pay attention to it. It'll go away.
But the comic book, I don't think it's only from the big. I don't think like Dark Horse or like Image, maybe like some of those other companies don't follow by it.
Sorry, go
No,
ahead.
you're good. You look like the guy from The Cure. What's his name?
Robert Smith.
There you go, Robert Smith. There you go.
Anyway, all right, go ahead.
Robert Smith.
What the fuck were we talking about? I
The
forget.
boys and the graphic, violent nature of
There
it.
you go. Oh yeah, they were banging all in their suite.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
like that.
That was fun.
That's it.
that's. I mean,
Well,
I was
embellishing them.
Well, okay, so I was telling Paul, I don't
Topic
I don't
here.
like the way that they do the blood. It looks too brown.
Well, your blood's blue before it hit oxygen.
Yeah, I get that,
But
but
it's
it's,
a
it looks
transition, right?
brown.
But
It doesn't look
I
red.
was, yeah,
I
was-
wanted
we
that
were
shit to
talking
look
about that.
red.
Okay.
But isn't it like certain?
Put your saturation up
But
on your
isn't
TV.
it like
You'll be red.
I could be wrong though?
What's that?
But isn't it like when you hurt when I don't know how to explain this, but like certain arteries or certain parts of the body where blood comes
Don't
out.
bring science into my
No,
comics, man. I don't.
No. I'm just trying to explain like the
No,
various
so-
colors of like blood that comes out of your body.
I will
like,
explain it to
Probably
you.
if it's closer
Does it?
to the
Or-
heart.
Am I
So
wrong?
when your blood is oxygen depleted,
need a beer
it's
for
still the same color, but
Yeah.
like it appears more blue. But once blood hits oxygen, the iron in your blood oxidizes and turns
Iron
red.
helps us
That's why
play.
blood is red.
Is that why
Yeah,
your veins
oxidized,
are
yeah.
green?
Yeah.
Because they're quite clear.
Yeah,
but
baby,
it's-
right
They're not
here.
really they're not really clear, but it's the way that it looks through your skin.
Yeah. They're not green. Your veins are not green.
bodies.
Right, and the
Yeah.
blood's not really blue or
Vulnerability.
green.
Right.
It's red, but it's the way because it's deoxygenated. It's the way like it absorbs light differently. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's why things appear different. Anyway,
See what you started, Paul? God damn it.
He did.
Becoming a biology.
He brought it up.
you're
I just
the one that brings
encouraged
up-
it.
No, you're talking about brown blood. That's a,
Well, it's brown blood. It
Yeah.
looks like it looks like a fucking. It looks like a cheap fucking like a fucking cheap like sci-fi movie or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the blood
mind.
looks fake
don't
as
mind it.
fuck. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the way it looks.
Hey,
It looks like
it's
like maple syrup and shit.
I like my blood looking ketchupy. If you ask me,
Yeah, I want that shit bright
This
red.
is fucking Peter Jackson shit from his earlier work. Fucking
Throw your
cheap
saturation
shit.
up, all right? Make your shit a
Yeah.
little more vivid.
Throw your,
I had
throw your
a-
saturation.
Yeah.
up. There
If you
go.
notice my hand,
Yeah.
I was at work last week in Dallas, and I was working, and a razor blade scraper slipped and hit me in the finger all the way down to the bone.
Oh God!
I can't feel my finger on this side anymore.
Oh,
I had to get 5 stitches.
Did you
See if
really?
you feel
Yeah.
it now.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. So
Aw.
speaking of
You
blood
did that
and
shit
shit
right before
everywhere,
Thanksgiving, so you don't have to travel. You still
no,
have to
I
travel.
was in Dallas.
No, but you don't have to travel now. You're hurt.
Oh,
No, I saw
good
that.
point.
I decided I make my own travel schedule, so like I'm here
make
this
my
week
own.
and next
Oh,
week
gotcha.
because I have a couple of guys coming in to work on a project in Houston because they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do this project," and I was like, "You know where would be a really good place for this project? It's Houston."
Yeah.
and they're like, "Well, why?" And I'm like,
Just do it,
because
you
I'm in
fuckers."
Houston.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Because all my shit's
yeah,
here.
you need to flex that a little bit.
Yeah, ultra to tick. Oh, my stuff's here. Yeah. Why the fuck else not?
I love that
Damn.
hair.
Can you actually tell them to do that?
Yeah. They are.
I
They're
would
coming
too.
here.
Well, fuck you.
Hey, you,
I mean, I'm in charge, so
Yeah,
I mean, it's
exactly.
really
There
my
you go.
call.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to the boys, and
The guys.
Miguel's. Yeah. Did that make any news? It wasn't called the girls.
well, because they call them.
I know, but I'm just saying.
What?
Was that? You know,
Oh, is that
did
like
stir any? You know.
I don't
cancel
think
culture?
so.
yeah, exactly.
I got pissed
You know,
off.
while we're still talking, you know, we've got a couple minutes left. I want to talk about. I just want to shift gears a little bit because we have a couple minutes left, and I wanted to bring this up because it took a long time, but I started watching The Sopranos.
About.
I told you saw that you had
Yeah,
to see
I
it
know.
on
I saw
the Voodoo.
Voodoo. You're all stuck on episode 8 for a while, season 1.
Yeah, because so like it all depends on like how many episodes I can make it through in a night when I'm stuck in a hotel room.
Yeah.
And so like and then it'll hit like I don't watch it while I'm home, so you can tell when I'm home because it'll be stuck at one episode for a long time, and then I'll be on the road. It'll pick up on that
It's
episode.
the
and
only
keep
time you
moving
allow
forward.
yourself to watch it is on the road.
I don't have time to
I
watch it
get that.
anywhere
Okay.
else.
That's-
Me and my wife have our shows that we watch,
okay.
and
What
then
happens when you have a family, Paul?
Yeah, you can't be
I
selfish
can only
all
watch
the
it
time.
post 9 o'clock when the kids are asleep. That's when I'll be able to watch my shit.
Yeah.
Why you giving me shit,
I'm just
man?
saying. I'm just saying. I can relate.
Yeah,
That's
thank
all
you.
I was just trying to say.
I want to know a question I have about The Sopranos. Does it get better than season 1?
Oh
Screw
man,
you.
it's you know.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm
Okay.
asking if it gets better.
It does get better.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
because
where
I
are you
don't-
at right now? If you don't mind me
it
asking?
seems
Spoiler.
it seems very repetitive. Like it seems not repetitive, but it seems very like. I feel like I'm watching The Sopranos retell like Goodfellas or something. You know what I mean? It's like this is every fucking gangster movie I've ever fucking seen. Like it's
How much more outside the box can you get in a mafia movie? You know
well,
the
that's
kind
what
of
I'm
the
saying.
storyline.
Like
You know what you
so
signed up
how
for by
did
watching it.
How many seasons did they make of this?
7.
Oh my god, they're gonna keep doing this shit for 7 seasons. Okay, so here's what
But
I
no-
don't.
okay,
here's
sorry.
here's where I'm at on this. Like. I mean, like his mom is my favorite character
Lydia?
this season.
Yeah.
I'm on. Okay, so where I'm at right now, like they just raided Tony's house for the first time.
Okay.
I get, he hit all the money. His mom's in the fucking retirement facility. He's seeing the shrink. He's having like, he hit on the shrink and like he's having like sexual fantasies about the psychiatrist and whatever.
Yeah.
And then like, I guess his Uncle Junior's like figuring, like his mom just told Uncle Junior that he's seeing a therapist.
Corrado.
Yeah.
And, so I guess that becomes like, that's the main like tipping point of the season, which I kind of saw coming. But like, I mean, that can't be what the whole like plot line of
No,
the
there's
show
more
is.
stuff that goes along with
No,
it.
it's-
There's new characters are introduced. That T-1000 shows up later on.
T-1000. Kevin McAllister's dad shows up too later.
Oh, he's in there. No, he's in there.
Yeah.
He's the detective.
Yeah,
I do
it's
enjoy
hilarious.
the scenes where they're hanging out in
Bada Bing.
Bada Bing.
Yeah.
I was
No,
like, oh, that's a great name for a bar, for a strip club.
But no, like it's like I told you last time we were
Fucking
talking
hair, dude, I
about
can't take you
this.
seriously right now.
No, I want you to though. Please, just I told you, don't give it the attention; it'll go away. Anyway,
I say that to
What
my
I-
erections all the time. and it never happens.
what's great about the show, if you ask me personally, like I
Didn't, but
what?
Is this another David Lynch reference?
No, it's not. I'm just
Okay.
saying, like, it's almost anti-mafia in a sense because they go in to the vulnerabilities of these guys. They're supposed to be this tough, macho, fucking I'm a man.
Yeah.
Well, deep down inside, it's like they're fucking scared, like the rest of us, man. They're prone to fucking just just
scared? I
being,
ain't
of being
scared. You
fear,
scared?
like fear, like it just. You'll see as like I don't know, like to me when I first watched the show, I was immediately attached to the characters and watching their character arcs, and you'll see them grow and you'll see them change. Like it's good character development in this series. Just give it time, man. Like I mean, to me, it gets better,
Yeah.
and just like I said, it explores because like I said, in most those you cited Goodfellas, also like they don't show necessarily
and
like
they talk about Goodfellas and
They
the
do,
Godfather
yeah.
and shit all the time. Which
yeah,
is funny.
well, yeah, and that's just funny. They're self-aware. They make fun of it because they kind of say like they kind of show like what the life is really about when in their what they do, and it really explores into it and like in them as just human beings and understanding human condition and what it's like to be, especially Tony. He fucking has. I mean, like his boss, like him being as acting boss, and how he handles things, and just I mean, it really is good, man. Like it's
The first season is a slow starter. I can
that's
I
just
can see
me
that. I
though.
can
Like
see
if
that
you don't,
for sure.
I mean, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
force you. I mean, you have your opinion for your reason.
it's just like
I'm just
your opinion, man.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
it's
no.
fine. I'm not gonna give you shit about
No,
it.
I'm just I really brought that up and I said it in exactly that manner just because I knew that you'd be like, oh, this fucking guy.
it's
No,
fucking
I'm
guy.
not. But
Actually,
I'm not
I'm
coming
actually
like
I'm actually
that, though.
enjoying everything about this show.
No, I'm not.
I
well,
don't
I'm not giving you shit
It's not
about
that one
it.
stupid show with Pitter Patter. What the fuck?
Pitter patter.
Pitter patter. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh,
Letterkenny.
Letterkenny,
Pitter
yeah, yeah.
patter. The show.
Pitter patter's a show. I like comedy.
I know.
There's no
Hey,
comedy
everybody's
in this show.
Everybody got their own perspective on things. Yeah.
I like give people a hard time. It's
Yeah.
good. Like my coworker, I tried to get him to watch Godfather, and he said, "I'm watching Godfather." I'm like, "Cool, man, great." And then when I talked to him again, he's like, "I couldn't finish it." I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." But hey, it is what it is. I mean, you
But
can't.
Godfather, I mean, the older movies, like if you've grown up on the movies that we have now, like older movies are hard to watch because the music and like it doesn't build the same way. You know what I mean? The
You know, and
cinematography is
then-
different.
I just judge a
It
character
depends. Like
because I look at
some people, I still like that
it's a
style. Like I
story.
like that. That
I mean-
those are different times. I like that era of film.
Yeah.
If you ask me, like in certain decades, and but that's also because I grew up watching that, a lot of that stuff with my dad. And if he never grew up to watch that, or just
Fair point.
you know, you're not going to appreciate
Fair
it. And
point.
I get where you're coming from, yeah, because it is different the way and how it is now
Yeah.
in filmmaking in this era. It's completely different,
Like, I was
and,
watching-
and it's as it should be. It's just evolving
like
from
the
what
good-
it used to
the
be.
good, the bad, and the ugly the other day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, damn,
like,
we're in a
that
while.
movie, I mean, it has great ratings, just like
Yeah.
The Godfather has great ratings. But if I show it to like some of my friends, they're like,
Yeah.
that movie fucking sucks. The acting sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, the reactions to the gunshots.
Right.
Hold on,
suck.
tell me which one you're talking
Yeah.
about.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh yeah.
You know, but I grew up watching westerns
Yeah.
with my dad, so I
See,
and
you,
I can,
you had that
there's
special
emotion,
that bond
tie,
to it. Yeah,
exactly.
And it's funny, those like older films, acting. It's weird. I was thinking about this the other day, like especially like in like older films, like it was that time too, maybe like in the 40s or 50s, but the processing of emotions and what they go through is very quickly. Yeah. It's not bad acting; it's still good acting, but nowadays. It's
Hey,
know,
all you cool cats and kittens.
there's a lot of things that are like in newer films and stuff like that. Like especially Sopranos is another good example. It's a little more slow paced. Like the process of emotions, you can actually see it, and you can relate a little more because you see it's like I can relate how he's processing what's going through in his head or those emotions because it's not just a quick or whatever. Just you're in shock.
Right.
And everybody processes differently, of course, but to me, like Sopranos and a lot of good filmmakers, they really highlight that when it comes to processing emotions. It's very subtle.
Yeah.
It's not always over the top. Like that's, it is what it is. But that subtle process and that delayed, like reaction to things, like that's more realistic or relatable, at least to me.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's and that's one thing that like we could have a whole argument on this on another episode, but of modern filmmaking versus classical filmmaking, and
that might be a good episode actually.
Of comparing and contrasting like how actors are nowadays to actors as they used to be, all those kind of things. So I mean, it's all about where you want it, you know what I mean? Like you grew up on this, like you see good actors now, and then luckily like the great actors have passed that craft down, and there's luckily we haven't come into like to a point in like the industry where like people are still giving directors and producers the ability to go into what am I looking for? Like to do their ideas the way that they want to do them, rather
Because they're
than
not doing that.
having
no,
more
they
freedom?
are doing that
They are
still.
having more
We're
freedom?
lucky
Is
that
that
we
what you mean,
haven't.
or-
No, I'm saying that we aren't in a situation where like the studios are sterilizing the industry to be like, no, you have to be able to put out this, and this.
Oh.
They're
Oh,
still
yeah.
allowing like good movies like to be made. They're still allowing people like Christopher Nolan and
Use their vision.
David Tennant and David Lynch.
Yeah.
And
Fucking Scorsese,
Yeah,
too.
Scorsese. Well, I mean, Scorsese. I mean, he made Godfather, and then I mean,
Yeah.
they just let him
Wait.
do whatever the fuck he wants after
Wait.
that.
for Coppola.
Yeah,
he did.
no, that
Departed.
wasn't Scorsese. Yeah, that was
Yeah, it
What
was
was
Coppola.
what was Scorsese's claim to fame?
Taxi Driver,
or Mean Streets. I
Raging
think.
Bull.
Raging Bull. Okay,
that's Raging Bull, I think, was really-
so. Really,
Yeah,
he
Ron
just
and
hired.
Street, too.
Really, he just hired De Niro and rode De Niro's coattails. Is what you're telling me?
Well, the story, though, man. The
No,
story.
you can't. You got to give fucking Scorsese credit. He's a great filmmaker.
Yeah.
Great storyteller for that matter.
Like in Departed, he throws like that little like wide angle shot, and it goes into like it just zooms in, and like
Yeah.
it doesn't call for anything like that for the
But
movie, but it adds
It's an
a little
interesting
something.
transition, though.
But
Like it
does
gives it
it
style,
add
gives it
something?
character.
That's a whole nother
Yeah, it's a
debate
whole-
we could have.
Yeah.
Is our great directors
But it's
like?
funny that you
That's
mentioned
subjective,
that.
you know?
It's funny that you mentioned about the studios because Godfather 3, which I don't know if you've seen it. It's not great. It's okay.
I haven't seen it because I heard it was garbage, so I didn't watch
but
it.
it's because the studio came in and like, you know what, we're cutting your time length. You're gonna have to drop this movie ASAP. Coppola puts that stuff together, and then they have to release it.
There's
now.
your result.
December 8th, they're having the director's cut. It's called Godfather 3: The Death of Michael Corleone, and it's a little bit of new footage. Not new footage. It's like footage that was in the vault.
Right. It's
Everything's
originally
remastered,
shot footage.
but stuff is placed in the proper timeline, and it's a different story.
So like the director's cut, maybe?
The director's cut. That's what it is. But
Yeah.
December 8th is coming out, so Daddy's gonna buy it, and it'll be on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like how you're like, Daddy's gonna buy it.
Yeah, you damn right you are. I know you will.
Goes to your point. The studios put so much restriction
you're-
on the storyteller and the director, whatever.
You're fucking with somebody's vision when you do that. Like you're gonna get a shit product because of that.
Well, maybe that's why. I mean, the boys, they went to Amazon. Maybe there was some things that they couldn't do in other places. Like maybe Netflix was like, no, I want more control or something. I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, Amazon doesn't make any of their money from Prime Video. I mean,
Really?
it's I mean, Amazon makes all
Oh,
the fucking
it's
yeah,
money.
Amazon.
You know what I
It's
mean?
Amazon. It's fucking Amazon.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Shipping
I mean,
shit.
that's Prime Video is basically just they're like, I
Add-on.
want to make some videos, and that's what they fucking did.
Nice voice.
They don't really need
That's
that.
Jeff
you know?
Bezos doing
Yeah,
that?
that's my Jeff Bezos impression.
Fucking uncanny.
I don't know if you've ever met the guy.
I don't know if you meant. Yeah, right.
Anyway,
I just want to
so,
pat his head.
in,
There we go.
in
Good
conclusion,
job.
like
Good
job,
let's wrap it up a little bit. So, overarching, what are your thoughts on The Boys? You gonna watch season 3?
Of course, I'm gonna watch season 3. The thing, my problem with the series, and the only negative thing I'm gonna take away is,
Ooh, you didn't mention anything about this, so I want to hear this.
no, it's the only negative thing I could take away is the fact that even though Homelander is a sociopath and he may want to torture his victims,
You're pissed off that Love Sausage wasn't circumcised?
Love sausage.
No, I'm just kind of like, it's just like my beef with Tom Cruise in the War of the Worlds is just that he shows up at the time where world life changing events are happening. Tom Cruise is there. The story can end just right off the bat if he killed Billy Butcher, right? Not give him that chance, not give him that gratitude to live the next day. Now, I'm not going to take you to go see your ex-wife. I could just kill you right there. And same thing in season 2. At the end of season 2, he pulls his son right there.
Yeah, we were saying the same thing. He could have just lasered all of them.
Right, and that's where I'm like, okay, if you because you didn't do that, the story continues. You do know that, and there's a possibility that they're going to come after you still, and maybe you just like that thrill of the hunt. I don't know, but
I think that's maybe
but that's
what
where
it
I'm
is.
trying to get at. Like, I wish that they exploited a weakness at some point, and Billy got away legitimately. It wasn't he let him live. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, because every time that they get into a conflict, it's always like, how is he going to get out of this one? And it's always some kind
Right.
of weird way that they get out of it. Like the Black Noir with the fucking candy bar thing. It's like, how are you going to get out of this one? And like in the house, everything's blown up and Black Noir walks out and he's like, he's like, if you fucking touch one of these cunts, I'm fucking,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He just leaves.
Well,
And
that's
it's-
true. Like, because he's so fucking vulnerable. Like against these soups, like how he gets away.
Exactly.
Yeah,
from
he's
these
That's what
like
I'm
a weasel.
saying. Like,
Situations. Weasel.
I think that like I was telling Paul, like I think that like the good way to go into next season, like I think that you give Billy the fucking Compound V.
Oh,
And yeah,
that'd be interesting.
Make him the thing that he hates and see where it goes.
Yeah.
that has
That'd
to
be
be the
interesting
final
character.
season. That will have to be the final season because I don't think they can bring that character and have him live season after season, him as a soup.
As long as they keep bringing
That's
Starlight
pretty-
in for sex scenes, I'm
Oh,
hooked.
yeah.
I'm in it.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
What's never mind. Yeah, that's.
She's all right.
Oh no.
No, I
She's-
know. I know.
Oh, man, it's me. Yeah.
And she's
Baby.
17 years old, though.
What?
Yes, I looked it
No,
up.
no, she's
Not
not.
in real
She's-
life.
Yes.
No, she's not. You fucking asshole. Trust me, I looked it up.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you talking to? I would know. The fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Trying
this is
to-
fucking home. I can do whatever I want.
Exactly. Yeah, she's 18.
Fucking laugh.
She's 18.
The only thing I was missing
And
from
you're
him doing that
38,
is
right?
I would be laughing at the same time doing that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Using his
Manically.
manically using his tears as lubrication.
Oh man, yeah. I just my thoughts on it. Yeah, like I'm looking forward to it. I don't know what to expect based on what we said earlier, and I I have a pretty good faith. Like season 2 was really good. It was topping season 1, and I think they can still keep me entertained to where like they did for season 2 and season 1, and just go from there. I'm excited to see where they're going with it.
Yeah. I mean, and I'll follow that up. I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I'm excited to see where they're going to go with it. I was, like I told you earlier, I was kind of disappointed they didn't follow the comic book, to where the main antagonist was Black Noir, and that was kind of, the thing going on in the background. But I agree with the fact, like, after watching it, I'm like, that'd have been too much. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, it'd be interesting to have them, like, if they'd have pulled back Black Noir's mask, like when they shoved that almond joy in his mouth, and it had been Homelander, but like he looked like he was burnt or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
If that was like Homelander, like the way that Homelander would have known that Black Noir was a clone of him and like had fucked him up or something like that. You know what I mean? Anyway, that could still happen.
I mean, it's not confirmed that Black Noir is dead, is it?
No, he said he's not there. He's not dead because they left, and he was able to get to his EpiPen at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You think A-Train's going to join the boys?
Oh yeah, he's back in.
But not
the 7, but that team.
Because here's some paperwork
like,
here. You can have this file.
Well, yeah,
he wanted to be back in the 7.
But obviously, right? But
no. I see your point. I see your point. I think it's possible that he might transition over with them and actually not be so self-centered and about because that's how he is, man. Like he doesn't necessarily care about that. It's all about me and the fame, all that bullshit, and just being in the 7. Yeah. I think eventually he'll look past that and be, and have a better purpose in life. I don't know. That's possible. I agree on that. I think that could happen.
Do you? I'll kind of wrap it up with this. Like, do you think it's possible that he would start working with Billy to take Homelander down just to get Homelander out
and go for his position?
That might be another.
I don't know
situation.
that he would ever be in his position, but just to get Homelander out of the way so that it wasn't so controlled or whatever on the.
Because it felt like he feels a way whenever Homelander kind of degrades him or talks down.
Oh yeah, there's tension big time between them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or maybe if Homelander comes and works for the boys. Yeah. And then A-Train is the super villain. Like you had your chance to take me out. But now
I don't think A-Train would be a great super villain.
He becomes like a super shredder.
I could
with all his compound V.
I could see the other way around, like we were saying, like him coming to or like you said, Rob, A-Train coming to them, to the boys, and teaming up with them to take down Homelander. Maybe Homelander is just that fucking evil.
I mean, in the next season, I don't know. I think the plot twist for next season would be that Cindy chick from the psych ward is so powerful that they have to team up with Homelander. They have to team up with Homelander to take her down because they're to take her down.
Ultra.
It's going to have to be something really diabolical, and Homelander can't get his fucking
Professor Xavier moment.
Homelander can't get his hands dirty. So you know what I mean. Like Billy's going to have to do his shit and go in there and fucking wax things a little bit.
I was hoping Iceman would have been there a little longer than 1 or 2 episodes.
Do you think it was ironic that Iceman was Fireman in this
episode?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he knew that.
But no, till season 3, yeah, guys.
Yeah, till season 3. I think they said they're going to start shooting as soon as they can in early 2021. So, and then they're going to rush. They're going to move production through. They've already working on things. There's some stuff. There's some teaser trailers up. They've already got the storyline laid out. So, they're already working on as much stuff as they can, prepping for, to probably for another fall release date for next year.
Right. That'd be sexy.
Yeah.
Very sexual.
I like that a lot. So, and on that note,
I'm Jake, everyone.
You lose.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Rob.
Good night.